Hello everyone, my name's Serena and welcome to the second video of my channel. I wanted to do this video really because I think there's some really cool shit out there and I want to talk about it. So what I'm going to talk about today is Rick and Morty. Now first off, Rick and Morty, fucking hilarious cartoon series. And I think people should watch this because it is chock full of really great social commentary, which I think that's fantastic. They do it in a funny way and it's a freaking cartoon series. So what more could you want? Come on. And that's why I wanted to do this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about season 1, first off, and some of the cool references in that season that I found. I know there's going to be more that I've missed out on because the creators, Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland, they are freaking amazing. They are geniuses when it comes to these cool little comments on society now and also the really funny science referencing. So because this is a science fiction show, is science fiction, but there's also some very cool horror in there and a few other weird random things. So I'm going to go through the episodes in season 1 and talk about the referencing I got and the science fiction that was referenced or the horror that was referenced. And maybe if you're interested, go watch or read or whatever these references that I think are cool. So first off, I'm going to basically skip over episode 1. It was just a great episode, but I didn't really find any obvious science fiction references other than, you know, the fact that they are a lot like Back to the Future, Doc and Marty, even Morty being named very similar to Marty. So I just thought that was fun. Their first episode was like hilarious, really enjoyable, so we'll skip over that. The second episode, Lawnmower Dog. So Lawnmower Dog was really a direct reference to Lawnmower Man, and I'm not going to go through each of the episodes, but I will explain the reference just very slightly, so it may give an idea of the episodes in case you haven't watched them. But Lawnmower Man was a movie released in 1992. It was actually based on a story by Stephen King, and he will play into this later. But it is a cool movie. I watched it when I was younger, and when I watched it, I thought, oh my god, this is amazing. And then when I watched it when I was an adult, I was like, oh my god, those effects are just terrible. But the concept is a really cool one. So I recommend watching Lawnmower Man. And just ignore the bad early 90s CGI stuff. The episode also did Inception, very blatantly did Inception, so I'm not going to explain that, but if you're interested and you haven't seen the movie, watch it and then reference all of the comments made in the episode, which I think were hilarious. Then there's also Scary Terry, which is obviously Freddy Krueger, and just fantastic. Done really well. If you're at all interested in the character, watch Nightmare on Elm Street, the 1984 version. It also starred Johnny Depp, just as an aside, and it was a really cool horror movie. It was still in that kind of slasher horror movie kind of genre, so I think it's a lot of fun. I love those slasher horrors, so do watch if you're at all into that, and also because it's a cool way to kill people into their dreams and kill them. Fantastic. The next episode is Anatomy Park. Now, Anatomy Park is really obviously a direct reference to Jurassic Park. You'll get more of that when it actually goes through the episode. Also referencing Fantastic Voyage. And for me, I hadn't actually seen Fantastic Voyage. I had seen Innerspace. And Innerspace was a movie from 1987, Fantastic Voyage, a movie from 1966. But they both address the same thing, where you get miniaturized and put into a person's body and then you have to escape. And I really loved that concept of being miniaturized and being inside someone, and then Anatomy Park. It was just hilarious. The next episode is M. Night Shyamalan's. I don't think I say that right. And it's just a parody of M. Night Shyamalan's movies, where it's like, it's a twist, and there's another twist, and oh my god, did you see that next twist coming? So that was really fun. And I especially like Nigerian scammers, because who hasn't been contacted by a Nigerian prince wanting to give you money? The next one is episode 5, Seeks and Destroy. And I just love this because it was a reference to all these like children's kind of fairy tale stories, as well as being really weird and very disturbing at one point, but still a fantastic story. The next one, episode 6, which is one of my favorites, is Rick Potion number 9. I think this is just fantastic. It's like this entire episode is paying homage to David Cronenberg. Now, if you don't know David Cronenberg, he is a fantastic like monster movie guy. He directed quite a few movies. I've seen The Fly. I saw that when I was a little kid, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit. But as an adult, I enjoy it. And there's also Naked Lunch, which I just want to point out makes more sense than the book. Because I remember a friend of mine reading the book as a teenager, and she was like, this doesn't make sense, what the hell is going on? So I think he did a great interpretation of making a slightly more sensible story out of that book. By the way, the book Naked Lunch, or The Naked Lunch, is by William S. Burroughs. And also, he did Scanners, which is like one of the referenced science fiction kind of horror movie that you can watch. So, yeah, Scanners. Episode 7, Raising Gazorpazorp. This was just one of my favourite episodes as well. Not the favourite, but I shouldn't say that. They're all, like, all of the episodes in this season, they're like fantastic. I love all of them. But Raising Gazorpazorp I loved because of all of these Zardoz referencing. It was just basically like this paying homage to Zardoz for some bizarre reason, but I still loved it. And a weird aside on that is that 2 of the female Gazorpians actually were voiced by science fiction actors that I like from a TV show called Farscape. So that was cool. Yeah, I just really like that. But I just love, the episode is fantastic. The next one is Rixty Minutes. And I just love the puns. I love the puns in the titles. And this is my absolute favourite episode. It's where they get interdimensional TV, and I just love all the parodies. I think it's done so well. They do some social commentary in this. It's just great. I also love real fake doors, because who doesn't need a real fake door? And then they also pay homage to Lorenzo music. I thought that was interesting. I was familiar with his work, but I just thought that was pretty cool. The next is Something Ripped This Way Comes. Again, I just love this because this is like a Stephen King episode, and I love Stephen King. I read Stephen King all through my teenage years, and so I loved this episode, and I just loved Something Wicked This Way Comes. I just love that they do this, and they did Needful Things, which they actually like. That's what it was. It was Needful Things, the book, and I love that book. And they also made like a very slight reference to Pet Sematary as well. So that was just fantastic. I loved that. And a very funny episode. Episode 10, Close Rick Counters of the Rick Kind. I just loved all the variants of Rick and Morty. I don't know if there was any like really obvious referencing there. I didn't get it if there was. I just really liked all the weird places they went, and like the place with the greasy grandmas. I was like, yeah, totally understand that. And then the final episode, Rixie Business, which I liked just the Jerry trying to be romantic and go on the Titanic. It's like, that's not a euphemism for your marriage. I don't know what is, but I just really loved that they went on the Titanic. I thought that was fantastic. And what I loved in Rick's party was Bird Person, because all I could think was Harvey Birdman from Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. I didn't actually ever see the older Birdman in the Galaxy Trio. Yeah, that's right, Birdman in the Galaxy Trio. But I loved I loved Bird Person. He just reminded me so much of Harvey Birdman. I don't know if that was intentional, but I enjoyed it. And yeah, I just also loved like how they do the parodies. So it was like the slow motion enter of the teenage girl. I loved that part. That was fantastic. And so I think that sums up what I loved about each of the episodes, as well as the referencing. If you're at all interested, like, look up the science fiction that they referenced, especially like David Cronenberg movies. They are great. They're weird, but great. And if you would all like this, please thumbs up. And if you have any comments with stuff I've missed, which I probably have, I fully accept that I've probably missed and I've only got the really obvious ones. But if you feel so inclined, please leave a comment below. And if you're interested in the idea that I make videos about this kind of stuff at least once a week, please subscribe below. And finally, thanks for watching.